Sorry, this took me way longer to upload than it was supposed to. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Most of it was because of procrastination. Like, I procrastinated a lot, but also I had to look through like 500 questions. And, that took a while. But here it is. There's also timestamps in the description with all of the questions in case there's some questions that you don't give a shit about, or if you're only here to see the answer to a few questions or like one specific question. But yeah, I'm answering questions. Thanks for 50K, by the way. That's pretty lit. It's pretty sick. Okay, here we go. What was the first Smash tournament I was ever in? If you look on smashdata.gg, which just shows everything on the start GG website, like all the info from there, it says the earliest tournament that I ever entered was December 7th, 2019 on Wi-Fi. But it was technically like 4 months before that. But I used a different website that wasn't Smash GG. It was something called Challenge, so it wasn't like recorded on Smash Data. But both of those tournaments, I had no LAN wire. Like I was using Joy-Cons. It was really funny. Somehow in Lag Spike, I got 25th out of like 650 people, which is not normal. That's pretty hype. But for the one that I did 4 months before that, I went like 1 and 2. It was pretty bad. Best Pop-Tart flavor? I can't even believe it's a question. It has to be the frosted brown sugar cinnamon. Like there's no shot there's any contest here. Would you ever be interested in fighting someone who fought you before you popped off to see how far they've come? I already have. I think the first example that comes to mind is J-Jaw, because we only played each other in like 2 Wi-Fi sets, and he won the first one and I won the second one, and then we money matched at Genesis 8, I think, offline like 2 or 3 times. And I was just like super interested in seeing like how far both of us had come in that time, and it was pretty interesting. It was really lame too, because you just like inhale camp at ledge or something. I would just have to deal with it. I'd be like, all right, bet. But it was pretty even. I won 2 of the 3, so yeah. But it's really interesting to see like how far I've come and other opponents I've had in the past have come. It's always something for me to look forward to. What's your advice for a Smash player trying to improve? Please practice in context. Like I see so many people try to only like lab certain combos in training room, and then they go in bracket or in friendlies to like actually do it, like test it, but they never get the chance, and they make it so obvious that they're trying to fish for like 1 or 2 like really obvious combo starters that like it just doesn't work, and they don't practice neutral, so their neutral is like ass, so they can't even do the combos they've been trying to do the combos they've been working on. Please just play the game. Yes, like just play the game. Like you don't have to practice all these complex combos, just play. Like that's how I got good. I like a few niche tech options. Like I did have to look up videos to learn, like the gazelle punch from ledge. I had to look up videos for, because there's no way I'm gonna know how to do that in context, so I had to look up how to do it, and then I applied it in context when I figured out like, oh okay, they're charging a smash attack at ledge, I could just gazelle punch here. But for the most part, when it comes to just learning basic combos and positioning, anti-airs, ledge trapping, etc., just play the game. Like those situations will come up naturally, and then once you start getting a natural feel for how to punish these things and where to be, it sticks with you, or at least at the very least it stuck with me, and it made me a significantly better player. Also, what do you find fun about Mac? He just fits me. Like I come from a background of a ton of first-person shooter games, so usually faster pace, like quick reaction time, snappy, like aim or whatever. And Mac kind of embodies like super fast frame data. I'm in your face. I don't want to let you breathe. I have to think of a situation. Like I have to think of a solution right now. And I like him a lot. Like I just like it faster paced. Not every match I'm gonna play is faster paced, because some matchups like force you to have to play slower. Certain play styles from certain players are gonna force you to play slower, because the Mac's awful. It's like so sometimes I will have to be swept into their tempo for some time, but like for the most part he fits me pretty well, I think. So yeah. How do you get better And what is the environment like at a tournament? I already explained earlier, basically how to get better, or at least in my opinion, is just spend less time labbing and more time practicing, like, in context in a match, whether it's friendlies or bracket, just play the game more. But the environment at a tournament, it kind of depends on where it is, because I think, different countries have different scenes and people, different sub-regions have different kinds of people. Like, you'll go to, like, I guess, for example, like, Europe's crowd is super loud in a good way. Like, it's encouraging, it's bright, it's really cool. From what I've seen, I haven't been, but I hope to soon. Like, I've only gone to American US majors so far, and they, like, some of them are quiet. Like, I think usually in pools, like, there's not too many crowds because most people are focused on playing, or just, like, there's a lot of matches to watch. But the farther in a bracket you get, the more crowds there are, and the louder it gets, because there's less matches to watch, and it's like higher level stuff, and it's really interesting. But the general vibe at bigger events is pretty cool, because everyone's there to, like, hard grind and practice and, like, play and see what they can do, maybe, like, hoping it's their breakthrough tournament and stuff, breakout. It's pretty interesting. Like, it can be intense, but once you go to it enough, you get used to it, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. What's the history behind my goofy name tags at tournaments? Yeah, so I don't really have, like, a consistent tag that I use every time. Usually it's just whatever is on my mind in that current moment when putting in the controls. I know at my local off stream, I usually usually when I'm off stream in general, I usually just put the letter P, because it's fast, like, P for peanut, cool, awesome, great. Like, let me put in my controls so we could play, because it doesn't really matter from non-stream, because it's not conveying anything to anybody. But when I'm on stream, it's usually, like, if I'm trying to play, like, super serious, it'll just be peanut usually. That's not to say that if my tag isn't peanut in the game, then I'm throwing. Like, that's not what it is. But, like, I'm talking, like, I don't have anything else on my mind, I'll just put peanut, I guess. But usually it's just it's just whatever's on my mind. So I remember at Apex, I put down, for stream, I put down I miss her and hi dad, because my dad texted me wanting the stream info, and he wanted to watch me play it, so I made my tag hi dad because I knew he was watching. There are a few times there's been anime references, or just shows in general, just, like, general media. I've made my tag 86, which refers to initial D, because that's what people keep referring to, like, his car as. It's just 86. I made it Sugimoto, which is another run. It's another show I've been watching called Golden Kamuy. It's pretty good. He's the main character in that. And I've definitely made it other names. I can't really think of any other ones off the top of my head, but it's usually stuff like that. How did your friendship with TC Nick 3 affect your channel? I kind of wish I never met him. He easily made my channel infinitely worse. I'd be a millionaire by now if I hadn't met him or gotten involved with him in any way, shape, or form. He's a fraud, and I hope everything goes wrong for him in life for the foreseeable future. Liam says you're pretty good. Thanks, Liam. I appreciate that. Who's worse, in my opinion, Ganondorf or Mac? People have been asking this question forever, and to be honest, I don't really give a shit. But if I had to pick who's worse, I'd say Ganon, and obviously I'm biased because I play Mac. But if you look at, like, statistically, like, Mac's results just are better than Ganon's. Kind of because I don't want to see my own horn, but it's kind of because of me. But there are other Macs contributing that are still better than, like, Ganondorf's. That's the whole, just Ganondorf. Like, Ganondorf's slow, so his frame data is ass. No disadvantage to stay. Like, if he just loses neutral, he gets farmed. His neutral's, like, okay, and all he has is advantage, so he gets farmed when he's off stage. Mac does too, but he has, like, a little, he's got more options, and his air drift's better, and Mac's movement is better, and Mac's frame data is better. Mac's advantage stage is better. Like, everything Mac has is just better. He has, like, comeback mechanic. Like, he's better. He's just the better character. I don't know, man. Like, it shouldn't be a question to me. Biggest hobby outside of gaming? YouTube and anime. I'm a bit of a bum if that doesn't, like, I'm a bum. As a Mac player, are there any players or characters you watch regularly or study to help you pioneer or innovate the success that I have with Little Mac? I'm not lying when I say I just like don't VOD review at all. I'm not lying. Like I just don't look at VODs. I think I saw Quaz do the like I do this thing with jab at ledge. Like I hold jab to catch jump get up. I saw Quaz do it once, so I applied that to my playstyle. I just happened to see it like on Twitter in a clip, and I was like, oh, I could do that. And the Gazelle Punch I did have to look up. It's by Phyto1, PHYTO-1 on YouTube. Gazelle Punch video, because someone told me about it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. I could probably apply that. But outside of that, I don't watch other Mac VODs. I everything that I do now, I've just learned myself or by word of mouth. And like, there's still a ton of the things I need to learn. That's also part of the reason I haven't made a Mac guide yet, is because I don't think I've learned enough. Like I could learn more stuff before making a guide. Like there's some matchups I just don't have any top level experience in. I remember I played Tweaks Diddy at Collision. I got fucked. It was not close. Like he destroyed me. I thought I knew Diddy and I didn't know Diddy. Like, he would put me in the corner and he would hold banana so I would shield, but if I shielded he would side B me, which sucked. So that conditioned me into jumping. But then he would do full hop and then the aerial monkey kick instead of the command grab, and then I would just get kicked. So like it was because I wanted to jump to like not get hit by banana or get hit by the command grab monkey, like, you know. So it's like stuff like that. I have to go through a ton of trial and error myself on my own to like learn. I that's just how I've been learning, and that's probably how I'm gonna keep learning. That's how I prefer to learn. What question do I want to answer the most? Something about my music tastes or shows I watch, because then I could gush about my favorite stuff. But I haven't found those questions yet, or like I don't even know if they're there. They might be, but if I find one or both of those, then I'm probably gonna answer it very very happily. You could have picked literally anybody else on the roster. Why did you pick Little Mac, the boxer? It's actually why I picked him, believe it or not. When I was super new at the game, and I'd finally unlocked all the characters after playing like World of Light with Joy-Cons and stuff, I was looking at the whole list of characters, the whole shebang, and I recognized everybody. Like, you know, Mario, I know Mario, I know DK, that's the monkey and stuff. I know Olimar, I know Duck Hunt, like, even, you know, the super obscure ones. But I look at Mac, where the hell, who is he? Where did you come from? Like, why? And he looks on the character selection, he looks canonically the weakest. And that drew me in. I was like, who is this guy? Why is he here? Who are you? And then I was playing around with him, and his controls felt pretty simplistic, and the super armor like hard carried me because I'd like against bots, like against CPUs, because I just picked up the game. I was still learning, but it really did interest me. It pulled me in. Can you do a face reveal? Yeah, sure, big man. Yeah, okay. Does it feel weird to think that you're the best in the world at something? Yeah, like, even if it's not, you know, the biggest thing in comparison to most other big achievements in life, yeah, it's pretty weird, to be honest. I don't like feel like I can truly call myself like the greatest. Like, I can't really compliment myself and call myself like the best, you know, Mac until I gotta convince myself first. Like, statistically right now, sure, I am, right? But I don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I could do way more to cement myself better. Did you ever play any Smash game before Ultimate? And if you did you play casually competitively? Smash Ultimate is actually my first and only Smash Brothers game. It's also my only fighting game. It's also my only platforming game. It's also my only platform fighting game. Like, I just played a ton of shooters before Smash Brothers, and I still play shooters now. But I didn't start playing Smashy Bros until like mid 2019, like casually. But I didn't do anything competitive until the COVID quarantine lockdown stuff hit, because I was cooped up in my room. Not like I couldn't go to school or anything. So I was like, how funny would it be if I just like did tournaments? That'd be pretty lit. And now I'm here. Did you ever have a job before streaming on YouTube? If so, what was it? I I used to work the graveyard shift at Target, but I only lasted like a few months, like 3 months. And then I was like, I hate it here. I'm out because it was like ruining my sleep schedule, like more than me just being your average gamer with a horrible sleep schedule was. So, it was to the point where I was getting home at 7 or 8. I would go to sleep all day and wake up at like 6 or 7 p.m. It was horrible. It was awful. Even on days off, like it wasn't even a day off, because I would just be trying to fix my sleep schedule, and then I fix my sleep schedule, and then I have to go back to work at like 10 p.m. until like 6 or 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. It was pretty bad. I do not recommend graveyard shifts. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrendous and awful and horrible. What do I think about random people on the internet that hate my guts for no reason? They're just looking for attention, and by addressing like the specific people that hate my guts for no reason over the internet, I'm just giving them what they want, which is attention. Because if you show that they're getting under your skin, then you're just giving them what they want, and they will keep going like relentlessly. But if you just ignore them, then they're either gonna keep talking into the void and feel stupid, or they're just gonna give up and move on to somebody else. So I don't know, they suck, but they're not that hard to deal with. They're not real people. Why did you name your channel Peanut? Do you just like peanuts, or is there a second, more sinister reason? Definitely not a sinister reason, or at least I hope not. But Peanut was my nickname in high school because I shared the same first name with like 3 other people, and it was getting really annoying when people would call her name and we would like all turn our heads and be like, which one are you talking to? So I like just went into school one day, and I was a freshman at this point, so like I hadn't really hit puberty yet. I was pretty short. I was super tan because I was outside a lot. So I walk into school and everybody just starts calling me Peanut. I don't really like. I didn't understand why, but I just kind of asked like, "Is this malicious? Like, are you bullying me?" And they're like, "No, this is a nickname that fits you." I'm like, "All right, I guess I'm down." And then they just stuck for the entirety of high school. Like it did not go away, which was fine. It didn't annoy me at all. I thought it was pretty cool. And then when it came to thinking of an online alias for games like Steam and stuff like that, I immediately gravitated towards Peanut, because that way my in real life friends knew it was me, but people online like that had no idea who the hell I was would just see it as Peanut, and it just looks like an online username. So I thought it was pretty cool. It's also really easy to remember. It's pretty simplistic, so it's pretty hype. Why do you look like that? It's disturbing. I'm just fucking built different. You can never understand how much differently I'm built compared to other people. Any good show recommendations? And I'll go over the sandwich question after this, but a lot of anime. I watch probably still a healthy amount, but like it's a lot, and I have other shows that aren't anime that I've watched and watching as well, but it's a lot of anime. I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna say it, whatever I think is good real quick right now. Angel Beats, Steins Gate, Hajime no Ippo, Haikyuu, Blue Lock, Mob Psycho 100, Golden Kamui, Yu Yu Hakusho, Odd Taxi, Bakuman, To Your Eternity, Great Teacher Onizuka, Trigun, Dororo, Initial D, Spy Family, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Attack on Titan, Kino's Journey, Red Line, Love is War, Black Lagoon, Samurai Champloo, Jujutsu Kaisen, 91 Days, Horimiya, Toradora, Run with the Wind, Parasite, The Maxim, One Punch Man, Great Pretender, Death Parade, Cowboy Bebop, Diamond No Ace, A Silent Voice. Oh, I can't believe I said all that in one breath. Regular Show, Adventure Time, QnA, Kids Next Door, and Ed, Edd n Eddy are also really good. Those are 4 really good shows I grew up with, which is probably how I ended up down the anime pipeline. Man, it's crazy. Now, for sandwiches, if I'm making my own sandwich at home, I usually just make a peanut butter and jelly. It's just a classic like sandwich. It can't go wrong unless you have a peanut allergy, in which case El Bozo. But I also like turkey, American cheese, and yellow mustard. That's pretty good. Just on like a low-key Eddie bread, like any normal conceivable bread, like white bread, I guess. If I'm going to Jersey Mike's, I usually get the number 7 with provolone, yellow mustard, bacon, pickles, lettuce, white bread, turkey. It's like low-key it. Sometimes I get the spicy relish. Sometimes I don't, depending on how I'm feeling. At Subway, I get a flatbread, like white flatbread, turkey, American cheese, bacon, yellow mustard, pickles, hot relish. It's just the same, like literally just the same order, but on flatbread at Subway. That's my sandwich stuff. Does my family know about the Smashy Bros career? Yeah, like there's no way I'd be able to fly, anywhere, let alone like across the country. It's just really anywhere without them like asking questions. But it's just like hey mom, dad, I'm gonna fly to California. I'll see you in like 5 days. Like, no, they know about it. I've told them a very long time ago, pretty close to the beginning when I started streaming and bringing in like decent amount of money for myself, and they're like, oh, okay, we're chill with this. I'm like, thanks man, appreciate it. Are you and King of Skill good friends or rivals? I absolutely hate the guy. He has brought my reputation down below bedrock. He's only made fun of me. He has never helped me in any time of need, but I've helped him at every time of his need, and he only takes advantage of me for financial and monetary gain. I hope that everybody knows that if you come into contact with him, stay away, or he will end up taking everything that you've ever owned and loved. He's a fraud. Biggest regret in life, and what would I change? We're getting kind of into the deep stuff, I guess, but I don't have any. I mean, like, sometimes you slip up, sometimes you make bad decisions, sometimes something, just super unfortunate happens to you where someone you care about that's just life. But all the bad stuff still shapes you into who you are, and I'm pretty happy with who I am for the most part right now. So I don't have any. Like, there'll be times where I think back to a certain situation or a certain moment in my life, and I'll be like, man, that was kind of cringe, or man, like, I'm kind of a dick or something. I was like an asshole in that moment, but I'm fine right now. I think at least, like, I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty grateful for a lot of stuff right now. Are there any other games you'd like to make content for in the future? Optimally, yeah, that'd be pretty hype. But I've been experimenting more in the recent videos I've been uploading when I actually upload something. But with like sprinkling in other games alongside Smash, or like with the Team Fortress sniper montage, or just TF2. And I expected that video not to do that well, and it didn't. But that's the content creation grind, I guess. But like, it would be really cool if I could just upload whatever game that isn't Smash and I enjoy playing, and it gets the same positive reception. But that's gonna take so long to make happen. Like, because right now I'm just known as the Little Mac guy. That's me. It's what I do. I'm funny Mac boxer man, low tier god something or other. But it would be nice, yeah. One day maybe if I put in enough effort or time, we'll see. But as of right now, it's just funny smashy bros. Who's your favorite party crasher? I hate all of them equally. Pure hate, rage. Favorite toppings on pizza? My favorite is probably chicken and bacon, and that's it. That's what I love. Sausage is like okay, like that'd be the meat trifecta, but sausage can sometimes be a bit like too much sausage, I guess. Like, some places just can't do the sausage right, but chicken and bacon is usually like super consistent with how good it is. Especially bacon. Bacon is probably the most consistent out of like all the pizza chains, but I like the chicken adds. I just like meat a lot. I'm a meat lover. Friday night funkin' or Fortnite. Five Nights at Freddy's. What keeps you playing Little Mac? I just never hear you complain ever. I don't really complain about the character ever. Like, there's only 2 or 3 matchups where I ever think that like it's the character that's like farming me. So I think it's like Min Min and Ridley. are the only two in the game that I'm like, it's just like nothing I can do in some situations. But every other matchup in the game, I like, if I lose, it's just my fault. Like I already know what my character can and can't do, and if I overextend and then I die for it, it's my fault. If I miss a like confirm, like might lose me the game, it's my fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been in these situations so many times, and you're not gonna win every single interaction. You're not gonna hit every single combo. You're not gonna be able to correctly react to every single like ledge option or tech chase, you know, like but the more you play it, the more used to it you get, and like the more consistent you become at it. But like you also just need to get into the mindset of like, it's completely possible that I miss this, and that's okay, but not in the sense of where you catch yourself overextending and going for something that you don't have to go for, which is something I see a lot of players doing. It's like, I'm gonna do down tilt side B off the ledge, even though they DI'd the down tilt like really far away, and the side B is probably going to miss. Like, you shouldn't, you know, like, don't do that. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But let's say like I up tilt and like I up B, but maybe I get the percent wrong. Like, that's just completely my fault. Like like the percent's wrong, so to get out of the combo, that's just my own fault. Like, it's just player stuff. Like, I'm never really mad at the game. It's usually just my fault. Who's the toughest person you faced in Smashy Bros? For me, it's Smubs Ridley, who I haven't beaten, and I've lost to him over like 10 times or something, and also Pink Fresh, who plays Min Min, and I've also played him over like 10 times, and I just have never beaten him. They're both in my region. They both happen to play -3 matchups for Mac, and I question everything like all the time. They're like, I have to pick a counter for it. Like those are the two matchups where I play Mac and I'm like, okay, this is kind of just like a character diff. Like, no other matchup makes me feel that way, because Min Min will just ram you off stage, and Ridley will just F tilt 2-frame you off stage, and you die in both cases. There's no hope for you. Like, you lose neutral one time and it's just over. You're just dead. It's done. I'm like, god damn it. So I'm trying to look into a counter pick for those. I don't know what I'm gonna commit to yet, but I'll figure it out. It just takes time. Luckily, I only have to deal with those two it like at locals, or maybe regionals, but usually just at locals. So it's just kind of practice for right now, but it still makes me want to curl over and cry myself to sleep every time I have to deal with it. God damn it. Do you play shoot 'em up games? And if not, what genres do you commonly play? I don't really play shoot 'em up games. I think the closest to it I have played is Katana Zero, which isn't even me shooting back. I have a sword, and Enter the Gungeon. That I think is actually a shoot 'em up, I think. But I want to try Hotline Miami 2. It looks pretty good. I just haven't tried it yet. But usually the most common genres I play are FPS games, first person shooters. We're talking Counter-Strike, we're talking Team Fortress, Rainbow Six, low-key, like, kind of just mainly those two. I like Valorant kind of, but I don't play Valorant in a competitive way. I just play Valorant in a casual way, because I don't care enough. I just want to play Counter-Strike. That's my goat right there. But yeah, usually just FPS games. Call of Duty is also a big one. What kind of music do you listen to? Whatever this shit is, I don't know what to call it. Yeah, whatever that is. I think it's breakcore or drum and bass, or I don't know, just instrumental stuff. I don't really care. It's that vibe, I guess. I don't know. I just really like it. Do many non-Smash acquaintances know about your achievements, and what do they think? Yeah, and also the story you're talking about with your coworker asking if they knew about me. That's like not the first time that's happened, which is really weird for me to think about. Like, it's not like I walk outside and I'm immediately swept with like, holy shit, that's Peanut Little Mac. But I'll go to any Smash event, and then it's, holy shit, it's Peanut Little Mac, and I'm like, okay, like, that makes sense. I'm surrounded by the game that I've put so much time into, and I'm so decently notable in. But I have I have so many stories from other friends that have nothing to do with Smash at all, and I'm like brought up around them, or like they're just in the Smash Brothers conversation. They're like, oh yeah, my friend plays like Little Mac competitively, and they're like, oh, what's his tag, Peanut? And they're like, no fucking way, you're fucking friend, you went to high school or you're friends with Peanut Little Mac. And I'm like, I don't, is it that big of a deal? Like, it blows my mind that I've that those situations can even like happen. But I don't know. I just, they think it's cool, right? Like I think anybody would, traveling for a video game is it's not really normal, or it's something anybody would think is like a viable career path or anything. So it's interesting. It's interesting, but everyone is supportive, and they're pretty happy about it. They're like, no way, that's pretty hype. Once they learn about it, or if most of my friends have known about it for a while. My family's known about it since basically the beginning. But they're all like, oh, it's pretty cool and shit. It's pretty hype. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool and shit. It's pretty hype. You're right. What you said is correct. Rank the sniper primaries from most to least favorite. Okay, this is like not a meta tier list. This is just like how much fun do I have with the guns? But it would look like this. It didn't have the op for some reason. The op would just be in the same place as the stock sniper rifle, but this is what it looks like. It's like all of his guns are still like pretty fun to use, but this, a Hitman Seamaker is kind of annoying to use. Kind of don't like it. Like I don't know. It's not for me. I like all the other ones though. Why'd you go pro in Smash if you play so many other games? Cause like all the FPS games I played were like team games, and I don't really like relying on other people and vice versa. I'd rather just do everything myself. And Smashy Bros was just 1 against 1, like me and you. Like it was just so easy to just be like, this is it. Like I want to try and do this if I can. What are my thoughts on the current banned Steve and Kazuya situation? So I don't care. Let me fight them. Like I genuinely don't care. Like I don't know what the devs were on when making them. It was kind of annoying, but you also have to remember that this game isn't being developed as a competitive game. It's being developed as a casual platformer. So there's of course going to be some like really gimmicky weird shit going on, but I don't care. I could still win anyway, even if the characters are busted. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I can't take advantage of the specific players' habits and things. I can still take advantage of the specific player, so it doesn't mean that much to me. I don't care. Like if I get hit by minecart at 60 at ledge and die, like my fault for getting hit by minecart. If I get electricked by Kazuya or hit with the Hell's Gate throw at ledge, that's just my fault for approaching in a shitty spot, or like just doing something I just wasn't supposed to be doing. Like their advantage states are just significantly boosted, like a lot. So like it's still my fault for getting hit, but it is pretty ridiculous, this kind of stuff that they can do. I also don't care if they get banned or not. I'm going to play the game regardless, so that it doesn't matter to me if a tournament has them banned or not. I'm going to go. Anyway, like I don't care. That should conclude the Q&A video. I answered all the questions with answers. Thanks again. I'm going to start uploading regular stuff soon when I feel like it's okay. Thanks, bye. Appreciate it. Peace a lot. Yeah.